Good evening. Oh, wow. All right. I want to welcome you guys tonight to our new graduate student orientation. My name is Sheena Brooks. I'm the Director of Graduate Education here at Northern Kentucky University. I will be with NKU for a full year next month, so I'm excited to be here. I know we weren't all expected to wear a mask tonight, but I appreciate you guys following the rules. And so that way we can all, as our president say, come back together, back to the future. So without further ado, I want to introduce our new provost, Dr. Matt Cecil. He's the provost and executive vice provost for academic affairs. Dr. Cecil.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to see everybody here. Happy to see anybody, honestly. It's been a long time on campuses like ours since we've had the energy of students on campus, and it really is one of the reasons that all of us are in this business, is to sort of live off that energy that all of you bring to the campus. So welcome, and we're really glad you're here. The other things I want to just mention today is we're glad you're here, and we're here for you as well. I want you to understand that the journey that you're starting in graduate school, you're not alone in that journey. There is an army of folks here at NKU who are invested in your success, people who want to help you any way that they can. There's a lot of them in this room right now, all of you who are, can you wave, all you folks? See all these folks? These folks are here for you. The other thing I would say is look around. One of the things that's really great about grad school is you get to meet a whole bunch of new, interesting, smart, young people. This is your chance to really get to know some folks and find your people on this campus, the people who are going to support you as you move forward into your graduate program. It's exciting, I'm sure. You're probably a little nervous about what's going to happen. You're probably a little nervous about COVID, as I think all of us are at this point. But understand that you've got a group of people right there at your table, a group of people in your program, the faculty, the staff around you who are there to lift you up when you need it. And there will be moments when it's tough. There will be moments when it's difficult and you need those folks. So we're really thrilled that you made the choice to come to Northern Kentucky University. We think you're going to be happy that you did. Can't wait to see what you do. And probably, frankly, the next time I see you will be when you walk across the stage and I get to be one of the people who congratulates you or hands you a diploma at the end of your program, and I look forward to that as well. We're thrilled you're here. We're here for you, and it's great to be here to greet you tonight. So thank you very much.
So next up is our the Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Research and Outreach, Dr. Sam Langley. Dr. Langley, are you in the room? Oh, you're right behind me. Sorry about that, Dr. Langley.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to NKU. I told Sheena that there was really no reason for me to get up here and follow the provost because he always says everything that I'm going to say. But I'll say a couple things. One is that when he says, we're here for you, he really means it. And just know that we in the Office of Graduate Education are here for you. I am here for you. Sheena's here for you. The ladies that you met out front when you checked in are here for you. The last thing we want is you to come to us 4 months after you've been struggling with a problem and say, I've had this problem, I've been working on it for 4 months, I can't get an answer. Come to us 1 week after you've had that problem. We're here to help you solve those problems. So please come to us if you need anything that can't be dealt with by your wonderful program directors that you've been sitting here talking to. So that's thing one. Thing two, that the provost already stole my thunder on, was graduate school. I loved graduate school. I always get up here and say I did. I loved graduate school. It's probably one of the reasons I'm still here. I hope you love graduate school. I hope you love NKU. But it really is about the relationships that you make, really, I think even more so than the classes that you take. So you're all here tonight. Some of you are here virtually. Hello, everybody out in virtual land. But make those relationships. You've started here tonight. Continue to build those relationships. build more as you go along. For the people that will be attending graduate school virtually, I know it's harder, but it's not impossible. So really think about that. Think about how you make those connections and how you build those relationships. That's what graduate school is for. The last thing I want to tell you is I do try to tweet. My handle is at NKU Vice Provost. Follow me, and I will tweet about cool things happening with graduate education at NKU. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sheena. She's going to do the rest of the program for you. But we are thrilled to have you here. It's so great to see all of you. Like the Provost said, it's been too long since we've been able to do this in person. So welcome and enjoy your experience. Thanks.
So yes, like everybody is saying, we are here for you. I'll give you an example of my journey when I was in grad school. I actually started grad school. I had 3 kids, and I actually used to work in graduate admissions as a work study. And so I worked my way up from a work study student to an assistant to the dean of the graduate admissions. And then I was like, you know what? I think I may want to go to grad school. And so I went to grad school, and then been there ever since. So I do. I love grad school. NKU is a great school. I've only been here, like I said, for a year. Everybody is welcoming. You ask people if you're walking around, you look lost. They're always, do you need some help? Let me help you. So please take advantage. When they say they're here to help, they're here to help. And like Dr. Langley said, come over to our office. If you have to call me, come make an appointment, come talk to me. Let me see if I can help you. Well, we have so many different resources for you, okay? We're over in the administrative building, right when you walk in the building on the 3rd floor. We're in a big glass office right there. Miss Peggy sits right in the front. So please come over if you need anything. So next up on our program is Dr. Stephanie Sunger. She's the Associate Director for Online Education, and she's going to talk to you guys about micro-credentials.
Thank you, and welcome to NKU. It's a really exciting time, and I know you're going to learn a lot of different things tonight and in the next few days as you kind of get started and get your feet under you. But I did want to kind of put in a plug for our micro-credentials program, something for you to think about during your time here. Now, if you're wondering what is a micro-credential, this is a credential that's much smaller than a degree, smaller than your typical certificate. It consists of just 2 to 4 courses in a really narrow, specific area of study. For example, we have micro-credentials on human resource management, trauma-focused care. We have a brand new one that just launched on cybersecurity, kind of a hot topic these days. And I could go on and on listing all of our micro-credentials. We're developing new ones all the time. And these are kind of a nice addition to your degree program. Some of them you will find actually go along nicely with your degree program and may not require a lot of extra work on your part. I encourage you to visit our website for micro-credentials. Very easy to find. If you just go to the main NKU page, type in micro-credentials, it'll probably be the very first thing that pops up. And there you will see some really, I hope, helpful information. One is a comprehensive list of all of the micro-credentials, so you can see kind of what we have to offer. Then there's an FAQs page that explains really the requirements for earning a micro-credential, what the process is like, because you need to fill out an application, to enroll in the program, and so on. And it also explains a little bit about the benefits of earning a micro-credential. And I want to kind of go over that part with you really quickly. So, what's the benefit of having a micro-credential? At the end of your micro-credential, you get a digital credential. And some of you may be familiar with these. It's kind of like a digital certificate, a little icon that you can put in your social media profiles, like put it on LinkedIn to kind of enhance your LinkedIn profile. You can put it in an electronic resume, like there's much of any other kind of resume these days, but you can put it in your email signature. any number of places, and it says, this person took these specific courses at NKU, developed a very specific series of skills, body of knowledge, has NKU stamp of approval, and that digital credential is clickable by anyone who visits your profile, looks at your resume, looks at your email signature, and it actually, they can click on that and get a full list of everything you did to earn that micro-credential. It also helps you because when you earn that digital credential, you can click on it, and it will enable you to use those skills that you built while earning that credential to find targeted jobs. So if you get a micro-credential in trauma-focused care, you can click on those trauma-focused care skills and pull up relevant jobs across the country. So it's a really nice way to enhance your resume, make yourself more employable or promotable, and oftentimes goes right along with your course of study at NKU. So if you have any questions about micro-credentials, I would be more than happy to speak with you at length about them. You can email me, probably the easiest way, at my micro-credentials email address. So that is micro-credentials, all one word, at nku.edu. Okay. So I hope you will drop me an email and we can talk more. So thank you so much. Nice to meet everyone.
All right, so next we'll have Dr. Christopher Lawrence. He's the Director of Clinical Mental and Health Counseling. He's gonna come up and talk to you guys about mental health awareness. After the year that we have had, I think we could all use someone to talk to. So we're gonna have Dr. Lawrence talk to you guys for a few minutes. Dr. Lawrence?
Talking to me and talking to me as a therapist are two totally different things. So we're not going to be doing that here today. So you can breathe a bit easier. When I finished my master's program, I took some time on and I worked, and then I went to my doctoral program. And you had to interview, and I don't know how many of you had to go through intense interviews to get where you are today, but mine was, it was myself and another applicant, and then there was a panel of like 4 people who had doctorates, and they were asking us questions about things. And they said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I let the person with me go first. So they talked, and they said that they were going to have a private practice, and they were going to teach, and they were going to have a family, and all of these, and they laid out this beautiful picture. And then they said, well, thank you very much. And they said, Christopher, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I kind of let out a breath, and I said, I have no idea. And they went, what? And I said, I can make something up if you want. And they said, why is this a confusing question? And I said, well, if I were to go back and look at the person I was on the first day of my graduate school journey, that individual could not have foreseen the person who would walk across the stage with his graduate degree. I said, I spent 2-3 years in this program. I said, and it changed me immeasurably. And my thinking is if my master's program did that to me, my hope would be that a doctoral program would take me even further. So you're asking me what I'll be doing in 5 years. I don't know who I will be in 3. I say that to you, not to freak you out, but if you do your program correctly, it will change you. You will not be the same person, and not just because you have taken a bunch of classes and you have the degree. The program itself, the reflection that goes into this level of study will change who you are, and you'll get a degree. I say that to you now because there's a lot. You may have heard people say that graduate school will be unlike anything that you've gone through academically, and that's true. So there will be pressures given to you by your faculty members. It's unavoidable. However, we're also living in a world where we're wearing masks, and there are all kinds of social issues going on. Life itself is challenging. So you've got all of the challenges that grad school and the rest of the world on top of it, not to say the other things that you've already brought in, which is why they asked someone from mental health to come up here. So what I will tell you is there was a representative over there from Health Counseling and Student Wellness, HCSW. We have a counseling center on campus that all of you are welcome to take advantage of. The counselors there have the ability to meet you in person, and they can offer you telehealth services if you need help in any way, shape, or form. There's also, if you just go to the website, go to the Health Counseling and Student Wellness, and you scroll down, there's an app that you can download from NKU. It's called TAO Connect, T-A-O. And what it stands for is Therapy Assist Online. And in there are any number of modules that you can go through. Everything from test anxiety to insomnia to depression or trauma, things that you can use. Your instructors can assign them to you for classes, or you can go through them on yourselves. So I would recommend that you take advantage of the services that are there. Norse Violence Prevention was here as well. So we have a great many resources to make sure that we're tending to you not just as students, but as individuals. Because you're going to be more than whatever your degree says, and more than whatever your job is when you leave. And we need to make sure that first and foremost, you are in a good position to be successful. And mental health plays a major role in that. So Health Counseling and Student Wellness, Norse Violence Prevention, TAO Connect, and then reach out. I'm here. There are plenty of people on campus who can connect you. If we don't have the ability to help you directly, we know who to get you in touch with so that you can receive the assistance that you need. So have fun today, and the floor is yours.
All righty. I know you all just got here and you haven't even started your graduate program yet, but guess what? We have some representatives here from our Black Students Alumni Association. If you ladies want to come up and introduce yourselves. Because we want you to give back when you graduate.
Well, hello. Okay, I need something better than that. Well, hello. All right, because today was my first day. Today was first day of school today, so I'm very excited. But I'm also excited to be here with you all, and I'm excited that you are taking on this journey to be an NKU Norse. All right, who else is excited about this journey? Do you feel the love?
I don't.
We don't feel it yet. I'm gonna say this again. Who else is excited to be an NKU Norse? All right. Well, my name is Monique Johnson, and I'm the president of Black Alumni Council here at Northern Kentucky University, also by way of an alumni member. This is?
I'm Siobhan Gray. I'm also a founding member of the Black Alumni Council.
Yes, and we're excited to be able to come before you and just talk a little bit about Black Alumni Council. We are a council that has started about 8 years ago now here on the campus, but we was always a member of alumni. Before we had the Black Alumni Council, before we start our affinity group of our Latinos alumni as well, we are always been alumni. So we then decided to we need different things for different avenues. So we wanted things to be geared towards our African-American students or our Latino affairs students or our young alumni, which you will all be included in because you graduated from NKU within a year to 5 years. You are a young alumni, even though we might not feel young, but we are young. But you can join any of the councils, and we're excited that you will do that after you graduate. But the mission of the Black Alumni Council is just to enhance this experience of the African American alumni by offering professional development opportunities, promoting student and alumni instructions and interactions, and by cultivating relationships between members of all generations and disciplines, as well as providing scholarships. Yes, we provide scholarships in various ways, from graduate school to undergraduate. So please look for our emails, look for the things that go on campus, because we do a lot, especially during homecoming, which is our major event. But we also have been doing this graduate edition, and we go to different we go to different colleges on different nights, and we'll set up like a meet and greet, and you can pick up some coffee or juice or whatever, just so you'll know us and we get to know you, to let you know that we're here. And as everybody has been saying, the theme of tonight, we are here for you. When I say I stepped footed here at NKU in 2000, I have truly felt the love. I felt like NKU called me here. I didn't call them, they called me, and then they blessed me with a full ride, but they called me here. You gotta go where the money is. They called me here because I felt it's the same way as Miss Sheena. I was about to look at her again. Miss Sheena said that you just feel the love. People are just willing and able to help you navigate this thing called life that we all need help in. Just to lend a helping hand, to give a study buddy or a study partner, even financially. Like if you're struggling financially, there are people in departments that are willing to provide you with whatever you need. But if you don't ask, we don't know. So ask, seek out, have fun, get involved. I know as adults, we got a lot on our plates, but just try to at least attain 1, 2, come to our events, and see how much love we have and see how much fun we have as a Norse, because we truly do. But we thank you, we welcome you here to campus, and we wish to speak to you again when you're about to walk across that stage. So thank you and congratulations.
Okay, so let me ask this. How many know how to do the North sign? Do you know what the North sign is? Come on. You got to put the horns up. Okay? Come on, you're Norse now. Let's get it. You're Norse. So, in your packet, you guys have some important information. We're all adults and we all know how to read. I'm not going to read this for you guys, but these are like some key areas: how to log in, how to do your email, how to register for classes. And then also you have a sheet, a directory that lists important things about parking, when they're talking about mental health, the clinics, different things like that. And then on the other side, it lists your different colleges, email addresses, phone numbers. This is a very good, important sheet to have, so keep it handy. And then, of course, my card is in there. So if you need me, you can call me. This is directly to me. This is not a fake phone number. It actually rings to my desk. So that is my line. I usually try my best to answer emails within 24 to 48 hours, okay? That's my rule of thumb. So I will answer all emails. Also, I just wanted to mention that we are giving vaccines on campus. I know the first vaccine clinic is coming up on August the 30th from 11 to 2, and then there's another one September 20th from 10 to 1. So just in case you guys need a vaccine, we have the vaccines here on campus. All right. Well, we'll keep this party going, and we're going to bring our 2 students up. For the student panel, we have Jake and Alex. And we're going to ask them a couple of questions and let them give you guys their experience here. And they also actually work here on campus. So Jake and Alex, if you guys can come on up, please. All right. Thank you, guys. So let's start off, you guys tell us your names, programs, what you do, where you from, all that other good stuff. Social security number? No, I'm just kidding.
You all hear me?
Is it on? It's supposed to be on. Okay.
That's how technology works. There we go. Hello, everybody. My name's Alex Walls, and I graduated from Northern Kentucky University back in May of 2015 with my Bachelor of Arts in English. I started working at NKU in the Office of Admissions as a processing specialist back in 2017, and I've been here ever since. I started the Master of Arts in English program back in fall of 2018, and as of now, I am on track to graduate in May of 2022. So just 2 more courses and a capstone, and I might be slightly terrified.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Jake Wheatmartian. I originally graduated from NKU as well, but back in May of 2019 with a degree in media informatics, and now I am an admissions counselor here in NKU's Office of Admissions, but I'm also in the Masters of Communications program in the College of Informatics, and I hope to be graduating within a year.
Cool. All right, so describe a typical week during a school year.
So, gosh, it's so much has changed, of course, over the past year, but a typical school week for me has a lot of our classes are usually offered in the evenings, so around like 6:15 to 9. Some are offered from 4:30 to 7:15. So there's a lot of different times, but it's usually I'll head straight from my office to go over to my classes, and I know a lot of things have been really up in the air, but just yeah, I'm on the struggle bus today, as you can clearly see, everybody. It's been quite a long day. But a lot of it's finding like your work-life balance. After this first couple weeks, you realize what your course load's going to be. Of course, you have your first day with getting your syllabus and everything. But after that, you usually try to kind of plan out what your workload's going to be, how much time you need to spend on reading, studying, working on papers, that kind of thing. So I would say, depending on the class, I would spend at least 3 to 4 hours, perhaps on schoolwork. Usually, when it comes down to writing papers and the end of the semester, these are around 5 to 6 hours, and that can always change.
All right, Jay?
Yeah, so I just want to preference this that I started grad school at the very beginning of 2020, and I don't think I've had a normal week yet so far.
Okay.
Basically, my classes started out, I had 2 in-person classes a week. They were basically 3-hour classes going from 6:15 to around 9. And then, obviously, halfway through the semester, we transferred to all virtual. But even, throughout that process, it was still kind of straightforward. You would go to class, your assigned time. You would also have a couple hours of homework each week, and I know that probably varies from program to program. For me, it was about 2 to 3 hours maybe per class, depending on the assignments that I had that week. So it really I would say if you're in class 3 hours a week, expect to do at least 3 hours of homework. That's kind of the general rule. So it's always good to plan stuff out like that accordingly, and even take into account what kind of assignment it is. Say if you have a paper, or if it's just a discussion board or something like that. Some things can be done faster than others. It just really depends on what your strengths are.
Okay. All right, well, that's a good leeway into how do you balance your role as a student, your role in the classroom, and also as a full-time employee here. How do you guys balance that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, some classes do start at 4:30. So at least working on campus, it's a little bit of an easier commute just to walk over there. But again, as I had said before, just this first couple weeks are where you really kind of find your work-life balance. You really have to find that kind of balance where you set that time aside where you work on your schoolwork. Usually during the weekends is when I try to do that. Depending on what's going on that weekend, I work best in the evening, so even when I could be out like partying and stuff, I usually will work around like maybe like 8 o'clock in the evening and just kind of have a nice relaxing evening. And usually on Sundays too, I'll wake up early and do that. So again, I really do stress that. When I first started, I took 2 courses. I jumped right into my program. I did very well, but I realized after that that I think it's time to at least take 1 class per semester just to really help find that work-life balance. So again, it is good to find like where your strengths are and kind of challenging yourself, and not to push yourself too much, but realize when you get to that limit, it's like, okay, it is time to step back, see what's important, what needs to be done, and then just go from there.
Okay, Jake?
And I would also have to agree with part of that, at least for myself, just because I also do a lot of my homework and everything like that in the evening, and that's kind of like my dedicated time for it. I also have found myself over the past year, like say if I need to catch up on work, I would do it like during a lunch break or something, just to kind of give myself that little bit more time, or say if I don't want to work on it that weekend or like that night if I have something going on. So it's really like you just got to go ahead and like get your time and plan it all out, make sure you know what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and whenever your due dates are. So basically whatever time is convenient for you, that's basically what I applied to like my outlook on classes and homework and whatnot. So I would that's my advice for like kind of planning out your work-life balance and also school balance as well.
Well, I'm gonna jump in on there too. So as a non-traditional student, when I went to grad school, and like I told you guys before, I had 3 kids. I had 2 in college and 1 was in middle school. So just think, and I worked on campus. So I was a full-time employee, a mom, and I was the recruiter for the graduate school. So it was a lot. It was. I mean, you really do have to learn how to do work-life balance. And I always tell incoming grad students who are just coming out of undergrad, grad school is not like undergrad. You can't cram a paper on the last minute. You cannot crank out a 25-page paper the night before it's due. I don't know nobody in here who can do that. I mean, so you have to learn how to balance, plan ahead. If you have that syllabus, talk to your professors, talk to your advisors, think about, when the paper is due. Get your outline together, get your resources together. And then, try to make sure that you are not pushing the paper at the last minute. I remember my first paper in grad school was so bloody, I thought I was dead. I was like, oh my God, am I that dumb? But you just have to learn your professors and learn what they want. If you don't know, go ask. That's what they're here for. They're not here to flunk you out. They're here to help you. This is an advanced degree. That's what we're all here for, that advanced degree. So just remember that tip. Let me see. So my next question to you guys is, what piece of advice would you give a new graduate student?
Oh, wow. I feel like there are several things that I could give you, but I'd have to say one of the most important things is to really understand just like what resources are available to you as a student. And not just, I mean, of course you have our wonderful Staley library and all of our online databases, but also the resources in your classroom. Your professors are an incredible resource. They want you to succeed, and they will work with you on projects. They will provide suggestions. Sometimes they'll have research, and they would like to have one of their students along, like performing research and finding information for topics. And also, your fellow classmates are incredible resources as well. I've been continually impressed by the amount of talent I've seen in our English graduate program. I've seen many fellow students publish in pieces that, like, I've workshopped with them, that we provided feedback and they've rewritten it and they've submitted it to places like McSweeney's, and it's certainly an incredible experience, and really kind of bouncing ideas off your classmates as well and relying on them. Don't be jealous of other people's talent. Utilize that talent and learn from it. So that's really one of my biggest pieces of advice.
Jake?
Yeah, I would also have to say just making sure that you get to know your professors is probably the biggest piece of advice that I had as well. Just because, like you said, they're a great sense, not only like if you need like extra help on homework or anything like that, but also if you have like a capstone project coming up and you need like somebody to proctor that for you. That can, or I say that just because I actually had to do that just last semester. It's always good to have somebody who kind of already knows what you've been like in the classroom and like knows your interests and whatnot, that they can kind of help guide you along that process. And say if you're like you start questioning like, oh, why am I going for this master's degree? They can be there for like reassurance as well. And again, just like not only just knowing them, but like also other faculty members like throughout your department, whether it be like your advisor or anybody like that. Relationships like that can definitely go a long way.
And then I'm going to add a little bit of comment to that also. And just think how we have you guys sitting at the tables. So we have you sitting at the tables by colleges. These are people that are in your programs. These are people like, hey, you may miss a night. Hey, Miss So-and-so, do you have some notes? Let me get those notes from class. You know, it's time. This is how you make the study groups. This is where you meet your study buddy. Exchange phone numbers, exchange emails. You're all here together. Just think you're one big class. So just think about that. So the next question then is, what have you found to be the most rewarding aspect of being a graduate student at NKU?
I have to say, one of the most rewarding things that I've really gotten to experience at NKU is the incredible like caliber and like talent of our professors, especially in our English program. I've gotten to study fiction with Steve Lay, who's published many novels over the years. I've gotten to take classes from Kelly Moffitt, our English director. We have some new faces as well. Since Steve is retired, we have Dr. Michelle Donahue, who's I really want to take courses with her, but sadly, I only have 2 more requirements to go. But yes, again, as I had mentioned before, they are incredible resources to have, and they will work with you no matter what the project is. They will provide feedback, they will make suggestions and help you tailor whatever it is you're working on into something amazing. And even after you graduate, our department, all of our faculty, they want to know how you're doing. They maintain, we like to maintain alumni databases, especially just to keep in touch with people, see if they've been publishing, see where life has taken them. And again, your faculty will root for you every step of the way. So definitely keep in touch with people. And yeah.
Jake?
I would say the biggest kind of reward that I've experienced is just the amount of different classes that I could take and have at my disposal. Like over my year and a half so far in grad school, I've taken like, or granted they're all communication classes, but I've taken like business communication, sports communication, intro to communication pedagogy, which I had no idea what that word meant when I first took that class, but I do now. And then other things like you're able to complete like teaching certificates and a whole bunch of other like opportunities that like are basically laid out in front of you when you're first like registering for classes. Be sure to like branch out. Maybe if you can take like an extra class that may be a little bit out of your wheelhouse, but you're definitely interested in it, go ahead and take that class, especially if it fits in with your kind of your classes all the way up until graduation. Very much do that just because it expands your skills in whichever like skill set that you're going to go for, no matter like what your program is. It's things like that that can really like open you up to different things and kind of give you that much more experience before you graduate with your master's.
And just for one more little plug for micro-credentials, Dr. Sunger talked to you guys about micro-credentials. Those can help you also make you more marketable. You add that little bit extra to your master's degree. So just think about that. Take a look at their website. All right, so the last question, and then we're going to open the floor for you guys, is what is one thing you wish you would have known prior to beginning being a grad student here?
Well, it certainly would have been nice to know that a giant global plague was going to hit, but you know. Again, I guess I would have to say that and it was a hard lesson to learn, and we mentioned it before, is really that work-life balance. Again, sometimes you do have to experience that. Again, like taking 2 courses, and I realized like as well as I did, it still, it took a lot out of me. And really figuring that out is not only paramount to just your graduate studies, but also just life in general. So yeah, that's one of my biggest pieces of advice.
Probably my biggest piece of advice is learn how to like adapt to different kinds of classrooms. And you may think like different kinds of like classes and subjects and whatnot, but I'm talking about, so when I was in undergrad here, I was used to like your standard like lecture hall where you would just go into a classroom and then you would just listen to a teacher lecture for 45 minutes, an hour, what have you. But here in like my program, it's more discussion based where not only is like the teacher talking, but like your whole entire class is like literally sitting at a round table, just having a discussion on whatever topic it is that you had for homework or you talked about in the class before or something like that. It's that kind of change that can kind of affect your way of like learning and getting the most out of your class, but it's definitely again, another skill that you can definitely have in getting the most out of like the environment that you're in.
And you know what? I want to apologize to my people that are out there in virtual world. I am so sorry. I forgot to say, I know you guys are out there, and introduce myself and say hello to you guys. But if you have questions, because it is a live stream, please send your questions to graduate@nku.edu, and we will answer those questions for you guys, okay? I do apologize. All right, so I'm gonna open up the floor to anybody who want to ask Jake or Alex any questions. I know y'all have questions for them. So y'all just know it all?
Anybody?
Nobody?
Nothing?
Really? Wow. I guess you did. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And have Miss Peggy, hey Alex, have Miss Peggy give you guys your gift back there. Okay. All right. Well, since you guys don't have any questions, I was leaving the end of the program open for you guys to talk to your program coordinate directors, or if you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer any questions. All right, let me ask you this. Have you all registered for your classes on Monday? You all know classes start on Monday, right? Okay. Well, that's a good thing. We know class start on Monday. All right. Okay. So we registered. We got our FAFSA done. We know about parking and all that other good stuff. You got your books. You know what the bookstore is. All cards. Have you guys got your IDs made? No? Who said no? You? Okay, well, all card is right out here to the left. They may have already gone home, but you can come back and get your ID made right here at all card. Just show your ID. Well, do you like your swag in your bags? Okay, so everybody got a t-shirt, you got a nice little to-go mug, portfolios. No questions? Are you serious? No questions? Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. You should. Okay. Friday. Okay. Tomorrow. All right. No other questions? Okay. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming out tonight. I do. I know this is not the orientation that we anticipated with the mass, but I really appreciate it, and with that, I guess have a great night. Thank you.